In this video, I'm going to be giving you a full breakdown on the YouTube sales funnel system that booked us 107 calls. I'm going to start off by breaking down the actual leads and application that came through, and then next go into the cash collected. After that, I'm actually going to break down the funnel that we use to get people to go from YouTube content to actually booking a call and collecting cash. And if you stay to the end, I'll actually reveal the YouTube strategy behind this so you can go and implement it for your info product business. And I mean, I've been doing this for the last year or so, and in the last year, we've generated over $2 million for our clients, working with people like the Growth Partner, Brett Skills, Defino, Samir, PB Trading, Flips for Miles, Caprice. I'm just going to keep scrolling so you can see how many names we work with, and we're generating a multiple 6 or 7 figures for these clients. Like I said, over $2 million in the past year. So if you implement what I'm saying in this video, you will see a positive return for your info business. Let's get straight into it. So first things first, I can actually remove this and come here. All of the system is powered by YouTube organic videos, and we are selling a high ticket product. So if you come here, you can see we booked 107 calls. For the leads part, we brought in 424 leads, and this was done in 115 days. And once again, this is directly all through YouTube. For the cash collected, it was $115,000 USD, give or take. So $115,000 in 115 days directly from selling a high ticket product on YouTube. So you guys can go ahead and understand how powerful this is. Now I want to break down how this process really happened, right? So first things first, once again, this entire system is powered by YouTube. And the first thing we had to tap into, and I want to actually mention, is that we were handling the entire process when creating these YouTube videos. So the ideation, the scripting, the thumbnail strategy and thumbnail design, split test in 2 to 3 variations per video, the video editing and handling the revisions, the posting and SEO optimization, coming up with everything A to Z. We ideated it, we scripted, designed, and we just produced all the content, even posted it for them. So I just wanted to say that first. Next, and thing I want to reveal is basically it would go from YouTube to then opting into a free course. And that's because we had this free course video on our channel that actually we did not produce, but we basically think of it as a funnel. That's what I'm going to reveal later in the video. You guys see down here, I'm going to cover some YouTube stuff and how you guys can replicate the same process for you. But we had a free course on the channel, and we would use all the YouTube content we had posted and drive people to this free course. And then in order to get that free course, or after you'd watch it, they would basically opt into something. And this was the free course video right here. And then obviously we would get their information as far as like name, email address, phone number, all this stuff, because then that brings them into our quote unquote funnel. They're on the email list, all this type of stuff. And I'm going to talk about how those things were leveraged later in this video. So let's get to the next step. After we had the free course and opt-in from the YouTube content, the next thing that was there was the actual VSL page. And once again, that's just pretty self-explanatory. Once they opted in and they had watched our YouTube content, they had also watched the free course, they want to learn how to buy the product, right? Where did we actually keep these? So we had top link of description. We had the link to the actual VSL opt-in page, but we also under that had the free course. And the free course was this YouTube video. So there was a free course link, and the top description was where they could actually see the VSL and go see the website. So that's what the kind of, I guess, quote unquote strategy is. You want to have your YouTube VSL and your main offer link be top description. Ideally, you actually want the YouTube VSL, the YouTube video, to be top link in description, because YouTube, the algorithm actually prioritizes people that are keeping users on the platform. So you can drive one person to another YouTube video and stay on the platform. That's what YouTube likes to see, and they'll push your content more, which creates an evergreen, lasting video, and that's what you really want on YouTube. And then from that YouTube VSL, then they can go tap into your VSL page, and that's how I kind of think about it. But let's move into the next step. So from there, they've already been at the VSL page. There's just an application. Obviously, we weren't handling this backend system for them, but I just want to show you guys how powerful YouTube is within this process at each part of the funnel. So they would clarify who this person was, use the application stuff, etc., etc. Their funnel has changed. It's been a year since we worked, so their funnel has kind of changed, and their offer might have changed a little bit, but they're kind of still doing the same thing. And YouTube content is still being leveraged in their funnel. Actually, from the application, the calls obviously book. Even when they're booking the call, choosing time, all this type of stuff, they're still like getting insight on who this person is that booked, right? And then from there, I mean, there is basically YouTube assets leveraged within the email sequence. Like I have this email right here. Like we're literally leveraging YouTube in our email sequence. I want to show you guys how to leverage YouTube on the long term, right? So they're using YouTube there, and they're even using YouTube on their actual website. So you're going to leverage YouTube in the pre-call process, and you're going to leverage it within your email system. Also for this client, we leverage our YouTube content on LinkedIn, on Twitter, on Instagram, and you want to take advantage of how much nurture YouTube has and leverage it on these other platforms. Because if someone's watching a 30-second Instagram reel compared to a 15 to 20-minute YouTube video, which one do you think they're going to be more nurtured on, right? And that's the question you really have to ask yourself. And then, like, if you're already posting the YouTube content, why not just, like, leverage it on other platforms is how I kind of think about it. And I think you should do the same, because that's going to help you, collect $115,000 in 115 days like we did. So that's kind of the funnel process behind it, right? It's pretty self-explanatory, pretty basic. But now I want to cover the actual content that we're posting during this period in time and break down the YouTube strategy behind it, and then also cover this kind of like private doc, breaking down kind of like how I kind of think about how you can turn your content into cash. So stay to the end. This is probably going to be the most important part of it, because I did post a YouTube video right here breaking down more of the content strategy, the YouTube side of it. I want to break down how you can turn your content into cash and go into more of the details and the takeaways that I learned from working with this client. So let's get straight into it. So first things first, on YouTube, I highly believe that everything starts from dialing in who your ideal customer profile is. So if you come here on this video right here, like our ideal customer profile was agency owners, and we wanted to take agency owners to become growth partners. And like I said, you can see in the top of our description, we have the VSL page, we have the free course, right? So that's what we were doing. But our ICP is agency owners. So all this content that we made in this period on their channel was all dialed in around that ICP. And I like to think of content from a psychological standpoint. So once you understand who your ICP is, you really want to dig deep into the psychographics of who they are. So the pains, desires, the fears, and the motivators. And why am I saying this, right? I think it's important, once again, to think from a psychological standpoint. You're trying to put your content directly in front of who you want to sell to. So if you understand your ICP, the next thing is understanding their pains, desires, fears, and motivators. And why do you want to understand that? Without understanding this, you will not be able to turn your content to cash. It's going to be pretty hard if you're not positioning it like that. But after you figured out that part of it, right, what you want to do is kind of reverse engineer your insights from the pains, desires, fears, and motivators into content ideas. And this is going to allow you to actually appeal to what people you want to sell to actually want to watch. And then from there, there's going to be a process I'm going to teach you now that can allow you to actually turn the content into cash. Because if you look at our channel, right, I want to show you how we're appealing to the pains and desires. So you can even see with the first video we ever posted here that we scripted, we ideated, all that good stuff. They handled that entire process. The main thing is they get on camera, they record, they make more money. That's really our offer, right? So we made this video idea, how to get ahead of 99% of SMAs and agencies. Why did we make this video idea? One, it directly calls out our ICP. Two, it leverages kind of like a proven title format of how to get ahead of 99%. 99% is kind of like a proven title structure on YouTube, which I'm going to talk about later in the video, how you can kind of YouTubeify your content after diving deep into the psychology behind your actual ICP. But we figured that out here, right? Position this video versus where we're kind of doing agency versus growth partner. Like that's our packaging with it. We have our client in the middle. Once again, this video is really just appealing to the pains and desires of our ICP, and then we're YouTubeifying it to actually have it make sense to, our actual audience, right? And if we look at other videos, it's really the same thing. These mistakes rank 99% of SMAs and agencies. This simple secret makes me 10K per month with one client. That's peaking towards a desire of our ICP. This agency blueprint scaled me to 197K per month. Once again, that is like we're showing the old way versus the new way in the thumbnail. You can see the desired outcome in the thumbnail, the before and after. Like we're just appealing literally towards the ICP and their pains and desires. And that's what we're doing with basically all these videos. Now, when you understand this, the next thing that you have to understand is how to leverage your content in a way of a YouTube ecosystem. It can be thought of as a funnel or ecosystem. I like to think of it more of an ecosystem. and then you throw it into your funnel, because I think an ecosystem never dies, and that's how I kind of envision YouTube content as something that really never dies as long as you keep making the proper videos and targeting your ICP in the right way and YouTubeifying it. So I like to think of it as having top of funnel content, middle of funnel content, and bottom of funnel content. Essentially, the top of funnel stuff has more of a total addressable market. It can bring more awareness to what your offer is and go get you more views, more subscribers. And then with the more middle funnel stuff, it is more of like how-to videos, explainer, and this is kind of targeting people that kind of understand what you might have to offer. Like, for example, our ICP is agency owners. So come back to the channel and I find like how to get ahead of 99% of SMAs and agencies. This is a middle of funnel video. It's targeting who we want to sell to, but it's not like too broad. It's also not too niche down. Like, it's something that they can understand. That's what I kind of classify as middle of funnel. And then bottom of funnel content on our channel specifically was like client case study interviews or like niche deep insight videos that are typically longer and breaking down our process. For example, we have this 50-minute video here breaking down their sales process. Or let's see, another one that could be classified as a bottom of funnel. I guess we have this agency blueprint, this 15-minute video, kind of breaking down the process that they used to scale as far as they did, right, with the agency model, with the growth partner agency model. So those are kind of how I think about content. And I want to break down what actually like made us collect as much cash as we did, and the kind of, I guess, quote unquote method behind it. I'm going to cover that soon. But for YouTube, the way I think about success and collecting cash on it really comes down to after you've gotten all these insights, right? You're on YouTube, you've dialed in your ICP, you understand their pains, desires, fears, and motivators. You reverse engineer ideas off of those, and then you leverage the top, middle, and bottom of funnel approach and create a YouTube ecosystem. From that point forward, it's really just about YouTubeifying everything you do. Like, you basically want to take all these insights, and then when I say YouTubeify, right, what I'm saying is tap into YouTube outliers, and there's many tools out there that you can use. I like to use vidIQ, and essentially with vidIQ, you can spot YouTube outliers on your homepage and take these proven formats like thumbnail formats, title formats, and apply them to, okay, this is what my ICP wants. I know their pain and desire, and then at this point, I'm gonna decide, is this a top of funnel video, middle of funnel video, bottom of funnel video. At that point, all you have to do then is tie it into a proven outlier, find something on vidIQ or a proven format with your title, with your thumbnail, and you can even utilize it for your scripts, like just taking inspo from things that have already worked on YouTube and then putting your own spice, your own competitive edge into it. Allow your competitive edge to bleed throughout your content. So wherever you're unique, you're different, you stand out, your story, your accomplishments, allow that to bleed through your content and tie that in with the outlier, with the sauce, with what you want to share. Like, for example, on our channel, a main thing is they burned down their original quote-unquote agency to build with the growth partner model, and that's what helped them scale to 197K. So that's the competitive edge that we're allowing to bleed throughout our content, right? But how are we YouTubeifying it? So all these like titles, thumbnails here that you see, we did YouTube research to find thumbnail formats that work, title formats that work, and then just plugged those in and leveraged what our ICP wanted, the pains and desires of our ICP, and then what type of video we wanted to post, whether it was going to be top of funnel content, middle funnel content, or bottom funnel content. And I want you to think about it in the same way, because that's what's going to actually lead to collecting cash. All of these are done strategically. We're not just throwing stuff at the wall and seeing what's working. Like, every single video is done with an end goal in mind of actually collecting cash, which is why we're able to collect $115,000 in just 115 days. So that's how I want you to think about YouTubeifying it. Don't forget to tie in your competitive edge. I feel like that's super important. And the next thing I want to cover, like I said, is this doc here, where I want to break down how I believe you can best turn your content into cash. And I'm not going to waste your time. I want to get straight into it. So first things first, what I realized after diving into our data working with this client is if you can redirect people to your main VSL and have that top of the description or use it as an end screen in your videos, it's like a no-brainer. A lot of our cash collected came from redirecting people to that main VSL. The second way was case study interviews and just like anything case study related, like breaking down huge results. With our clients, this is a case study, this is a case study, this is a case study. One of our biggest videos is a case study, 7.8K views. But the way that I structured this video, I used an outlier format, and then I just tied it into what our ICP wanted to see. the title and the thumbnail are both taken from outliers on YouTube, and then I just like YouTubeified it around our ICP and their pains and desires. So this is also a case study video. This is a bottom of funnel video right here. There's another case study. So like case studies, they're probably the easiest videos to make, but they will collect you cash if you know how to run that process extremely well. And then third is like the middle funnel content, like how to or specific niche content. I feel like it's super important. I do think the top of funnel stuff works as well because you want to humanize your brand. You want to be getting more views, subscribers. But these three were the ones that stood out. Like if you can redirect people to the VSL, have case studies, and then have the how-to content, that's what we saw like best work for us. And they're like the proof is in the pudding through the cash collected and all that type of stuff that's here, right? One thing I want to cover as well that was down here was I believe it was basically a mini YouTube VSL we posted. Yeah. So this mini YouTube VSL we posted right here. Once again, this is a bottom funnel video because we're explaining their story and their process of what happened. It's kind of like if we remade this this video. So this was our free course, but we kind of remade it and tied their story into it, and it performed pretty well. This agency blueprint scaled me to 197K per month, 3.2K views, which in our niche, like 3.2K views is really good. That's damn near targeting a lot of people, damn near, that are in the niche and who we want to sell to, right? So that mini VSL, alongside like our free course, stuff like these allow people to get nurtured over and over again. So you want to leverage the top, middle, and bottom of funnel strategy with the content, leverage your case studies, push the content back to this YouTube VSL. The YouTube VSL can be, once again, a free course or a My Story video. And I think if you do those things, YouTubeify the content, and just push people through, I guess, a similar funnel that I just broke down in this video, you will see success on YouTube. As long as you have a good offer. I feel like that's just like the important thing is if your offer is good, you will see success. Besides that, I believe I've covered everything. You definitely want to have the how-to content in there too, but these were the main insights. If you want, I guess, more details on how we scale this client, I still have this video up where I break down the YouTube strategy behind it. It is kind of old, but the same things apply, but I've learned new insights I've just shared with you guys today in this video. And I mean, if you want to do the same and work with Content Cash Media to get similar results to the ones that you see on the screen right now, I'm not saying you're going to directly get the same results as them, but if you want to scale your info product through YouTube, just book a call down below to talk with me one-on-one, and I'll see if you're a good fit for us to work with together. Besides that, I appreciate you watching, and I'll see you in the next one. Peace.